advice would you give someone then, same situation, says, hey, we have a great role for you, but it's not who you are? What would you tell them? To go with it, not go with it? Just how would you tell them, I guess, to think it through? How would you
My
tell them?
advice to somebody that is presented with an opportunity that they don't really know how to navigate is just to like sit down and write down exactly what you believe your purpose is and your goals as well. And you can take this opportunity that you've been given and think, okay, does that align with this? Does that align with this? And is that also going to get me to where I'm going? If it's not, I'm a huge believer that everything that is meant for you will never pass you by, and that will always resonate with you. So if you're presented an opportunity and you feel a bad gut feeling, you feel something like negative brewing inside of you, I just say try to stray away from that, even if it promises you fame or money or anything like that. In the end, it's just not worth it to me, and everything just works out for the better, and you'll see that you start attracting things that really align with who you are and what you desire. I got offered to do a voiceover for a show that my character was supposed to be like this. It wasn't exactly cookie cutter, but it didn't align with my values, and it was supposed to be like this kind of racist take on like a martial artist, spin off like a Bruce Lee, but like she's like a hooker, but she's also a martial artist at the same time. And I was like, okay, I'm very into rewriting the story of what it means to be a female martial artist, but like that didn't align with who I am and who I want to represent. So I had to turn that down. Even like WWE, when I got offered a contract to be with WWE, and that's not to say that I would never do it. It just didn't align with who I was at the time. And that was because they didn't, they wanted to take the martial arts and make it very cookie cutter. And I just said, like, you know what, I'm going to build my career first. I want to be in action films. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing with content creation and paving that path, and then go back to WWE when I can like write my own story there. So there's been so many times where I've had to reevaluate what's important to me and what I want to represent in this industry before moving forward with these opportunities that like obviously would catapult me. So there's been many instances, yeah.
Has there been any losses yet in this whole journey? Have you had a loss, a failure, a mistake, something that you've learned from and just say, you know what, this mistake is never going to happen again, and you got bigger, better, stronger, all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I was conditioned to winning for a really long time because as a 7-year-old black belt, nobody was really on my level in that sense. And my generation kind of paved that way for the next gen to come in. And, now everybody's like doing crazy things as a 6-year-old. But as I grew up and I took some time off from martial arts to focus on school and really figure out what I wanted. When I went back, I wasn't at the top anymore. So it was really difficult being in that environment because it was new to me. It was something I've never experienced. When you start something at 2, you don't remember being at the bottom. You don't remember having to work up from the bottom. So it was one of the most, I think, defining moments of my life because I could say, you know what, time passed. It's just not for me anymore. I'm just gonna, leave it there. But it was motivation for me to work even harder, even harder. I mean, I worked so hard to get back to the place where I was winning again. But even then, I mean, after a couple years of tirelessly working and knowing that I deserved that win, politics still comes into play. Mistakes do happen. I didn't train hard enough, and I went to world championships, and the form was great. I was nailing everything. And then I went to do the last flip, and I slipped and fell. And things like that happen. I got up. I was always told, and I always did lose with grace. It was never like a question for me. It was like, you know what, that's totally fine. It's just motivation to work harder. But I got up, I was like, okay, that happened. Let's just make sure that doesn't happen again. So it was just getting back in the dojo, working even harder. And losses happened a lot in the last couple years of competitive martial arts for me. But I wouldn't be who I am today without it, because if I kept winning, it would have been too easy for me and I would have slacked off and become lazy. So I'm thankful for those moments because it's given that hunger and really reignited that spark within me to keep working hard because I just have such a competitive spirit in everything I do. And it's not because I'm competing with anybody else. It's because I'm competing with myself, and I know the standard I have for myself as well.
With all the success, how important now is it not just to be the best now that you're 20 or almost 20, the best of being just the best at taekwondo, now to expand into diversifying your skill set, your talents, now to being great at podcasts, great at teaching, choreographing. How great is it? How important is it now just to expand your base?
I think so many martial artists get lost in the fact of, competing so much and focusing on themselves and their craft that they forget to expand. And I've always been told that. I've always been blessed with incredible mentors to tell me, Rayna, you need to be good at this. You need to be good in front of camera. You need to be good behind the camera. You need to be of value in every single room you walk in. So from a young age, I was always investing in those different aspects. And now I continue to do that. I love choreographing. I love teaching. I love doing stunts. I love acting. Uh, every single one of those, it falls under the umbrella of martial arts being my passion. So it's just so fun to be able to have all those different outlets that I can go to, and yeah, I would say it's essential to expand your arsenal now, especially in such a competitive industry, but also in just like feeling fulfilled for yourself. Whereas before, I could just walk into a convention center where a tournament is happening and feel very confident. Now I feel as though that I can walk into a room with producers and directors and feel confident. I can walk into a room where I need to be a DP for a fight choreography or stunt shoot and feel confident. I can be an actress in an action film and feel confident. I feel so much more fulfilled having all of those skills and values in my arsenal as before, where I just had that one thing, and that was my only um, you know aspect of my purpose that I really felt I was honing in on. Now I feel like I'm really fulfilling everything in my life. Meeting people that I've looked up to my entire life, working with people I've looked up to my entire life, doing things that are fulfilling for me, being able to make my own schedule, having people come to me, and little girls come to me and ask me, Rayna, how did you do this? Or Rayna, you inspired me so much, is it's incredible. It's I don't know how to explain it. When you have a passion for something and other people begin to recognize that within you, it's really special and it's really moving. And I'm continuing to have those little glimpses each and every day, as I accomplish more of my goals, with acting, with, I have a music video coming out that I, you know, choreographed and crafted the storyline for, and also started. So it's just so special for me to be able to, be able to do so many different things that just fulfill me. I'm super blessed with everything that I'm doing, and I'm excited for more.
That was, how important is it for you and for anyone else you would advise just to get out of your comfort zone? Hey, take on that danger to make you better in the long run. How important is that to you?
It's really important because I thrive off of that energy. I thrive off of that adrenaline of trying something new and becoming great at it. But it's also the realization of you don't have to be great at everything. You can have one thing that is your purpose and passion and reason for life, but you can have other things that are just your hobbies that you have fun with. You deserve to be in touch with your inner child, to be able to have fun with different things. And I'm really learning that myself. And I took dance up this year to have that outlet of just having fun and being a beginner at something. I would definitely tell people that it's it's actually a great skill to have, to just be a beginner at something and learn from there, whether you're 30, 40, 50, it doesn't matter. But just enjoying that, not having that pressure of having to be perfect. I think that if you're an athlete or whatever you may do, if you're great at something, you know what that feels like of having to be perfect all the time. So I would say that it's more important than you think to be able to get out there and try something new and just be okay with whatever happens. It might end up becoming something you're great at, or it might just end up being something like you falling off a skateboard every 10 minutes, but that's so fun. And it's really important in life to be able to laugh at yourself as well.
What do you tell them just to change that mindset? What do you tell other women to change their mindset? Maybe not just in fitness, wellness, but just in whatever stereotypes, for lack of a better phrase. What would you tell them how to get out of that so-called
For sure. I
mindset?
mean, first of all, to me, there's nothing more womanly than just being badass. I think that encapsulates everything that a woman is. I completely understand how it might be difficult to feel as though, oh, this is for me when it really is a male dominated industry. It can be difficult sometimes to get out into a gym and all these guys are just weightlifting and being like, yeah, bro, that was good. It's really difficult and everybody's looking at you, staring at you when you're the only woman in a gym and you're wearing shorts. It can be really hard. I would 100% recommend just starting out in your own home. I think just, maybe putting on a video and just dancing, putting on music, dancing, taking a little Zumba class, anything that you enjoy, like genuinely enjoy. It doesn't have to be weightlifting. There's so many different avenues you can take. Self-defense, jujitsu, martial arts. I recommend those. Um, Dancing, running, walking, even going to Disneyland and walking to 20 different rides. That's a workout. I think anything that you enjoy, it's really important to capitalize on that for fitness. And you can be creative with it too. You can buy some nunchucks, spin them around. I was working with a guy who's in MMA the other day, and I gave him the nunchucks, and he was like, "Oh my God, this is going to be my new workout." Just getting in the gym and fighting can become so monotonous at times. So, just picking up anything and not closing it off, realizing that there's so many different opportunities for you to expand yourself and you deserve to be there and you're worthy of investing in yourself and really finding that because it's worth it. It really is.